What is up, guys? It is Mr. Sports Freak 56 coming at you with a new Notre Dame video. And we're going to do a Notre Dame recap and a Notre Dame preview all in one. I just, due to the holiday and stuff and some unfortunate circumstances and events that happened this past weekend in my personal life, I just don't have time for said things. So, Notre Dame took on the University of Michigan in prime time in a epic showdown of two top 25 teams, and they came away victorious 24-17. But the score doesn't show how dominant Notre Dame was. The score is deceiving. I am extremely pleased with Notre Dame in this football game. There was a lot of hype about this Michigan football team and Michigan defense. There was a lot of hype about Shea Patterson. There was a lot of hype about this game, period. And these kinds of games are tough. They're tough to prepare for because it is the very beginning of the season. Week 1, you're getting thrown into the fire. It's not like you play a couple teams that you have a really good chance of beating, and then you play Michigan in a primetime game. It's you play Michigan in a primetime game to start the season. So it's huge. It's huge. It's absolutely crazy. But our offense looked great against this supposedly, and I'm not trying to be a hater, so don't think that I'm being a hater here. I'm just saying what people said. Supposedly, this Michigan defense is top 5 in the nation, and we dominated them. Notre Dame dominated that Michigan defense. Supposedly, the offense for Michigan was supposed to be improved, and we dominated the offense. I think the only facet of the game that we really didn't dominate in was special teams. Special teams play could have been better. Justin Yoon looked great as our kicker, but our punter, I don't even know his name, and our return coverages weren't that great. There was a couple good coverages, but room for improvement. So yes, but overall, amazing game. Absolutely amazing game. Another epic showdown between Notre Dame and Michigan is in the books, and it was wonderful. It's so nice knowing and going to work that Notre Dame took care of business. Ooh, it makes me so happy. I don't really live in enemy territory, so I shouldn't say that exactly. But, there is a stigma. Notre Dame is like one of probably 5 teams that if you like them, it's great. But if everybody else doesn't like Notre Dame, it's either a like or a hate. But yeah, so thoughts on the game. So offense looked good. Brandon Wimbush has room for improvement, and I don't want to be a downer. I don't, because people are like, oh, here we go. He's going to start ragging on Wimbush. But the thing that I want to see improved upon is Wimbush did too much in this game. And I know that sounds stupid and oxymoronic because it's like, wait, don't you want your quarterback to do enough to win the game? But what happens when we lose him? What happens if we lose him is what I should say. He was the soul of our offense. Yes, our running backs looked good. Yes, our wide receivers looked good. But 9 times out of 10, Brandon Wimbush was acting and playing like, okay, I'm going to take this ball and I'm going to run with it. So that's kind of my concern. If he gets injured, if he's knocked out for a little bit, if he's sick, whatever, God willing, how will we handle it without him? And that's my only concern. Now, offensively wise, we did wonderful. What was it? 2 rushing touchdowns and That'd be 14. And then a passing touchdown. So I can't complain. And it's against Michigan's defense. It's against supposedly one of the best defenses in the country. And we dominated them. Like I said, the score didn't show how dominant this game was. 21-10 at halftime. I think I think Michigan got a lot of momentum in the second half by having that kick return for a touchdown, taking it back for a touchdown. So, to me, I don't think the game is as close as it would have been if they hadn't gotten that kick return. It swung momentum back into their favor. And hats off to our defense. I mean, our defense, to me, was my biggest concern coming into this season. We got Mike Elko last year. We went from a defense before Mike Elko came in that struggled a lot. We went from that to becoming an elite defense under Mike Elko. And then we lost Mike Elko to A&M, to Texas A&M. He went on to greener pastures. And people can say whatever they want. But we hired from within. We brought up and promoted one of our defensive coaches on the staff and made him defensive coordinator. And our defense was absolutely dominant in this game. Shea Patterson was running for his life. We shut down the run game. We shut down the pass game. We had tons of pressure. This defensive line that we have, depth is there. It was hyped. I was concerned. People were saying, oh, we're going to be able to sub in, X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. We should have no problem, and it showed. It really showed. Our defensive line, to me, and I'm not trying to sound like a homer, stacks up against anybody else's in the nation. It really does. And like I said, this was a cause for concern. I was concerned. We lose Mike Elko. What happens to our defense? Do we go back to being patchy and having issues, or do we stay dominant? And at the moment, we stay dominant. Now, we're switching focus to Ball State. We go from elite Michigan to little Ball State. But we have to keep that momentum and fire going. But overall, we took care of business. This is the first check in the college football playoff resume. Did you beat Michigan? Did you win at home and take care of business against an opponent that is as good as you, if not better? Yep, check. Checked it off. So now I'm going to switch over to the Ball State side of things. Now, the attention shifts to Ball State. And this is the first time that Notre Dame and Ball State meet on the football field. We've had a little bit of a rivalry going on the basketball court in men's basketball and women's basketball with Ball State. But we have never met them in football, which is crazy to think about because they are a Division I program. I mean, them, Purdue, and Indiana, University of Indiana, are all Division I programs, Division I AAA. With us, now there is Butler, who is Division I AA, that is below, and Indiana State, that is Division I AA. But to say that we've never met Ball State on the football field is kind of a shocker. It really is. Now, the attention shifts to them, and we have to play this game as intense and as dominant as we did against Michigan. We saw opening weekend. Kansas lost to an FCS opponent. Penn State almost lost to a lower opponent. So it can happen. It really can happen. There were a couple lower cupcake opponents that took their greater opponent down to the wire. We can't let that happen against Ball State. If we want to be in legit playoff contention, these are the games that we have to dominate. And I'm a firm believer that if you are playing a cupcake team, no offense to Ball State, you have to dominate them. You have to prove that you are the more dominant football team. Not let's take them into triple overtime and win. Even though that's exciting, unfortunately, voters look down upon that. So we have to take care of business. And what we did in the Michigan game, and I say it every video, I say it, you have to win the turnover battle, and you have to not make stupid mistakes. Michigan shot themselves in the foot with stupid mistakes. Notre Dame had 4 penalties. 4, which is fantastic. And we won the turnover battle, and we won the game. So we have to do that against this Ball State team. Now, this Ball State team is coming off of a 2-10 season last year. But, as Andy Sean mentioned in his video, and as I'm going to mention in this video, that was due heavily in part to injuries. And us at Notre Dame, in Notre Dame country, and the Notre Dame fan base know about injuries and seasons being plagued by injuries. Ball State snapped a 9-game losing streak this weekend against a lesser opponent, but they were very dominant and convincing. They're bringing that momentum into this game against Notre Dame. And this is a game, and I'm not saying Notre Dame's on upset alert, but Notre Dame cannot take Ball State lightly. We cannot take them lightly. We can't. We have to dominate in this game. We have to. We have to be stellar on offense. We have to be stellar on defense. We have to limit the big plays on defense. We have to make big plays on offense. We have to win the turnover battle. We have to win the penalty battle. Because these are little things that lose you games. If Michigan had not made the mistakes they made against us, what kind of a game would it actually have been this past weekend? So what I do want to see is I want to see Wimbosh and the Notre Dame offense open passing more. There was a lot of rushing by Wimbosh. There was a lot of rushing by our running backs. And there wasn't a ton of passing. I mean, we had enough, but I want to see, this as like a tune-up game. This is like where Brandon Wimbosh and our offense opens up that passing play part of the playbook and says, okay, we're going to air it out against Ball State. We're going to, really take it to them, and we're really going to, this is what our game plan should be. And I hope that's what we do, because there are going to be games where our running game is going to be shut down. I don't want to say much in our schedule because a few things happened this weekend, and if you're a Notre Dame fan, you probably know what I'm talking about, that makes the rest of the season very, very intriguing and interesting. But I want to see our offense super balanced. And right now, I don't think the offense is balanced. I don't like to sound like a hater. I don't want to sound like that. But I think Wimbosh is just showing right now that he is a run-first quarterback. And I would like for him to be more of a dual threat where he can beat you with his legs or he can beat you with his arm. So that's kind of what I want the focus to be on with Ball State. And I want it to be a good game. I want it to be a clean game. I want to see no penalties. I know it's wishful thinking, but I want to see no penalties. I don't want to see turnovers. I don't want to see injuries. I wish Ball State all the best and all the luck. I actually went to a camp up at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. Very nice campus. Very, very nice, cool campus. And I'm sorry, you got one of the sweetest names in college, Ball State. When I was there, they had shirts that said Ball U on them. And that's pretty freaking badass in my opinion. So, I can't wait. I can't wait for this game. I really can't. It's exciting. It is exciting that college football is back. It is exciting that Notre Dame started off the season with a win. It's exciting that we're going up against an Indiana team, another Indiana team that we've never played before. It's cool. It's fun. That's what I like. I know some people in the blog are like, we're playing Ball State, and I don't really know if I should be excited about this game, or blah, blah, blah. But it's a new team. It's a new team. It's nice to see different teams. It's nice not to see Florida State and Miami and Michigan and Southern Cal and Stanford, the same olds. It's nice to see a fresh face in Ball State playing against Notre Dame. So that's about it, guys. If you like this video, smash that like button down below. And as always, have a great day. God bless. And go Irish! Beat Ball State!